So this past week, the Dallas Cowboys played a game on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, it was a disaster. It was the worst 3.5 hours I've spent all season. The Dallas Cowboys are a disaster. Their defense can't get off the field. They can't get timely stops. Their season essentially ended once Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending injury a couple of weeks ago. But what is really the issue with the Dallas Cowboys, right? What is really the issue with the Dallas Cowboys? I was talking to a couple of sports fans a couple of weeks ago, and I said the difference between management and leadership is management puts a fire under you, leadership puts a fire in you. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys are lacking in the management department, and they're lacking in the leadership department. Mike McCarthy has not proven to be a good hire. Mike Nolan has not proven to be a good hire. So what has been the one constant? What has been the one constant in the last 25 years, which is the last time the Dallas Cowboys have won a Super Bowl, when it's the last 25 years, when it's the last time the Dallas Cowboys have played in a Super Bowl, the one constant is the owner, Jerry Jones. I like Jerry Jones. I really like him a lot. He's one of the best owners in the NFL. I like him because he's unapologetically himself. But Jerry Jones is the biggest reason this team will never reach their full potential. Jerry Jones has his thumbprint all over this organization, and it's not a very good one. If you believe that the Dallas Cowboys' problems start and end with Mike McCarthy, you have to blame Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones is the person who hired Mike McCarthy. If you believe that the defense under Mike Nolan is the problem with this football team, you again have to blame Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones is the individual who hired Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy is the individual who hired Mike Nolan. The Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, will still win the NFC East. The division's not very good. They'll probably win the division somewhere around 6-10. Andy Dalton will play better as he gets more accustomed to playing as a starter. This is not the end of the line for the Dallas Cowboys. This is not the end of the line for the Dallas Cowboys. But the reason I don't trust them is because Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, is more concerned with his football team being famous than significant. Now, you might ask yourself, what's the difference between someone being famous and someone being significant? Famous means that you're known by a lot of people, right? Significant means that you're known by a lot of people because you've influenced a lot of people. Would anyone consider the Dallas Cowboys to be an influential organization in the NFL? Of course not. They're not leaders in their industry. They're not pioneers in their industry. They're not doing anything new and innovative or groundbreaking. The Dallas Cowboys, by and large, have underachieved for the last 25 years. I've only been living for 27 years. So for almost the entirety of my lifetime, to include 2 additional years, the Dallas Cowboys have been mediocre or below average. That is a problem. I'm looking at a team that has first-round draft picks all over the place. Dak Prescott was a steal in the 4th round. You got CeeDee Lamb, who they drafted this year in the 1st round. You've got Amari Cooper. You've got Ezekiel Elliott. I understand the offensive line isn't what it was a couple of seasons ago. I understand that things like age and attrition and players retiring has drastically affected the identity of this football team. But I don't even know what the identity of this football team is. People tell me Ezekiel Elliott's the most valuable player, but I keep seeing Jerry Jones pouring more resources into the throwing game. And it's because Jerry Jones wants the Dallas Cowboys to be this high-octane, high-flying offense because he understands that that sells tickets. He understands that that garners attention. And that is a fundamental problem I have with Jerry Jones. He doesn't prioritize substance over winning. He doesn't do that. Jerry Jones, his best interest is about the Dallas Cowboys being talked about, right? As long as Jerry Jones is grabbing headlines, everything is fine in Big D. I can't tell you how many times I'm watching sports talk shows and I see them start off with the Dallas Cowboys despite the fact that they have off to an abysmal start. They're 2-4. Like I said, I'm still sticking with them to win the NFC East, right? Because the division is atrocious. I can't trust the Eagles. The Washington football team is not that good, and neither are the New York football Giants. But in the end, as long as Jerry Jones is at the helm of the Dallas Cowboys, they will always run into the same problems. They will always run into the same problems. The Dallas Cowboys have a certain ceiling, and the biggest person holding the Dallas Cowboys back is the person that made the Dallas Cowboys who they are today, and that's Jerry Jones.